Low. Ball 2. The crowd is reacting negatively. They want to see Mars get something he can swing on. There it is. $61. $5,000, somebody. He got his pitch. Look, $5,000.
You know, that's what sports is all about. Like, you're sort of living vicariously through your heroes and through your team, and you're witnessing these exciting moments. And the beauty of baseball is that in rare circumstances, you can actually participate in that moment if you're the lucky one that catches the ball, like the object at the center of the game.
I guess they would call him a ball hawk. He's very polite, and he'll give a ball to a kid if they ask.
Goes up in the air. There's hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people watching on TV, all the cameras, tens of thousands of people in the stadium, all the players, everybody's watching. And for that ball to end up in your glove or in your hand, it's just such an amazing feeling.
The guy who caught the ball in the outfield, what a clown he is. He's written books about how he's caught home runs. What a dope. Who's gonna pay attention to him?
As many as I can, but I don't think I'll ever be as good as that.
Some people call him a ball hog or whatever, but honestly, he got some fair and square.
You have really just a ball hawking community of people. I don't think any of this could have happened without Zach.
My grandfather started the Argosy bookstore in 1925. My mother and her two sisters own it now. And I'm here more when it's not baseball season and not much during the season. I am definitely extroverted, very creative and energetic. I like to have company and friends, and I always need to be doing something rather than just like nothing and chilling. My lifetime baseball tally as of this moment is 10,163, all from major league stadiums. No minor leagues, no spring training, and it does include a lot of toss-ups, a lot from batting practice, but plenty of gamers as well.
I'm here at SunTrust Park in Atlanta for the very first official regular season game. I'm here right now at Wrigley Field, Minute Maid Park, Busch Stadium, Tropicana Field, Citizens Bank Park, the Oakland Coliseum, the Rogers Center, Fenway Park, Great American Ballpark, Coors Field, Camden Yards, Marlins Park, Safeco Field, Chase Field, Progressive Field, Target Field, City Field.
I first became a fan of baseball around the age of 4. That's when I was first aware that there was this, I guess, professional entity of guys playing baseball. I just remember my dad and a best friend were watching together, and I heard them screaming from the next room and kind of ran in there to see what was going on. Yankee Stadium, that was my first game. It was Bat Day. I guess that would have been 1984. I remember that Lou Piniella ran out onto the field to have an argument with one of the umpires and picked up first base out of the ground and flung it deeper into the infield. And I think he actually had to shove Dave Winfield off the base so that he could grab it out of the ground. This was my first game, and I was like, hey, this is pretty fun.
Some hot dogs in his hands. What is going on these last couple of days?
Practice hit after hit after hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's
nice play.
Driving the glove right there to make the catch.
Look at that. Hold on to the baby.
nice reach, nice stretch. Oh, nice one-handed catch. Hangs on to the baby.
Up right field. Arcia with a long run. And Arcia leaps and makes a catch. No, they're going to say.
That's a lot. Do it
Yeah,
every
he
day.
was pretty calm about it, wasn't he?
Do it every day. Wardrobe taking a hit, but
Adrian Gonzalez leans in and over and can't hang on.
Wait a minute, they got to call that, right? I mean, Adrian's talking to him. He would have caught that ball if the fan wouldn't have interfered.
Back when I was about 14, I came up with what I started calling then, and still call all these years later, the glove trick. It's basically a way that I can lower my glove on a piece of string down onto the field or down into the bullpen or any other just random flat space. And if there's a ball sitting there, not moving, not rolling by, the glove lowers down over the ball and actually gets it to stick inside, and then I lift the whole thing back up. Then I went and wrote a book called How to Snag Major League Baseballs, and I had a little, photo series showing how I set up the glove trick, and I explained how to do it. And I started blogging a few years after that, and I wrote an entry called The Glove Trick.
You know what? He's been around the game for so long that he just knows where to stand, and he knows all the stadiums, and he knows, where all the balls get hit for the most part. But he's not like the other people where they'll jump in front of you, and he's very polite, and he'll give a ball to a kid if they ask. It's just something he enjoys doing. Other fans, like you said, Mr. Marlin, whatever his name is, he just dresses in orange and looks really angry at every game. I'm not really sure why.
He's very knowledgeable. He is willing to share his knowledge with other people and help. I see him help a lot of kids get baseballs. Zach will, tell them what to say to a player or where to stand. And so many times it's worked. I see the kids that he's with get baseballs.
There it is. The 3,000th hit baseball by Alex Rodriguez. There's the ball. I got it, and just trying to ride this wave and enjoy the moment.
All right, so that little ball that's in your hands right now, about how much do you think that's worth?
The low estimates are coming in around 50,000. I had someone on Twitter offer me 300,000. I got so much crap after I snagged A-Rod's 3,000th hit, and a lot of it was my fault because I tweeted something the day before about A-Rod, which was meant as sort of a flippant joke, and it was rude, and I thought 11 people would see it, and he'd hit a ground ball up the middle for his 3,000th hit, and that would be the end of it. But then I got the ball, and then people, the whole world just started turning their attention toward me and everything I was doing and everything that I had said, including that rude tweet, which got retweeted more than 100 times in the first hour before I went on there and deleted it, and it got screenshotted and plastered all over the media. So right off the bat, people were sort of like, wow, who's this dickhead who just got the ball? And then even after I had the ball, I tweeted that I was keeping it, which is certainly my right. I paid for a ticket and I got the ball, and I didn't punch anybody in the face or assault anybody to get it. I picked it up off the ground, actually, like it was my ball. If you keep the ball, then you're a greedy jerk and give it to the player and he deserves it. And same, like if you sell it, you're greedy. And if you give it to him, you're a sucker and you should have held out and gotten. So no matter what you do, half the people are going to criticize you. I was getting about 100 Twitter notifications per minute. And I figured there'd be some people grumbling and other people would be like, good for you, you deserve it. But it was overwhelmingly negative. If you look back at baseball over the years, going way back, you can really see how the sport mirrored American life at the time.
Well, it is now official. No more regular season, no extended version of the playoffs, and for the first time since 1904, no World Series, Brendan.
It's not pretty. Yogi Berra said it ain't over till it's over. He was talking about the 73 Mets. Now Yogi could say this one's definitely over. The World Series has been played on in the midst of two world wars, in the midst of the Depression era, but now in 1994, in the midst of the greed era in Major League Baseball. No World Series, no more baseball this year.
Welcome to Fenway 1994, soon to be the tomb of the unplayed games. No runs, no hits, no mystique.
Overpaid and underworked, and now they're going to go on strike.
The players, you mean?
I'll play for half that money. It's an absolute joke.
How do you feel about a baseball strike?
I think it's stupid. I think the players are just being selfish.
You think the players are being selfish?
Yeah. And they make enough money anyways.
The Pirates have won 9 of their last 12 games. As Andrew McCutchen.
One reason, he is holding a bat and a pair of batting gloves from Miguel Cabrera and a couple of baseballs. Look at this.
The guy that got hit came back, was handed a game bat by Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
I went so far as to examine this by looking at the baseball itself. I wrote a book called The Baseball, and there's a huge sort of evolution of the ball timeline that I did a ton of research for. I got a whole trove of articles directly from the Hall of Fame going back to the mid-19th century, and I was reading stuff that I couldn't even believe. The baseball manufacturers weren't allowed to use rubber in the cores of the balls, and they had to scramble to find other materials, and the balls just weren't as lively. And it's just it's a smallish detail because no one now really knows about it, but at the time this was huge. And again, it's just sort of like baseball and America are just interwoven so closely together. And even in times of war, the sport went on, and when 9/11 happened, you know, of course the nation took a moment to collect itself, but you know, there was George Bush throwing out the first pitch, and you know, I was at Shea Stadium when they resumed playing baseball after that, and there was a tiny crowd that night, but you know, baseball, and it helps lift people back up from tough times, and I think probably baseball has done that more than other sports. I've come up with all these ways to get baseballs, but I don't know, it's not fun to just hoard these tricks to myself. And I realize that by sharing the tricks, I'm educating the competition and making it harder for myself to get more baseballs. Baseball has given my life an unbelievable amount of direction and purpose. It's just like an endless source of something to be excited about and something to do. It's a passion, it's an obsession, it's a sickness, it's a disease, I don't know, there's a lot of different words for it, and I think they're all probably accurate.